Welcome to our podcast, Chasing Tangents, where the best conversations are the ones we never saw coming.
I'm Staci. This is Renee. Grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's chase some tangents together.
Let's do it.
I put that on my business card. The
What?
chasing tangents, where the best conversations are the ones we never saw coming. That's on my business card. I just got some new ones.
Oh, good.
Yeah, remember I had you send me the new QR code.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that.
Which was so ridiculous because I went on and when I was making the QR code yesterday, it takes me like 2 minutes. But I was like, oh, I'm going to go. And I don't know why, because it's not in my character. I'm like, I'm going to go and try to find a new place to make a QR code. I have a place to make QR codes and it's easy. I have an account. Took me seconds. But no, I'm going to go to a new place that says free. Okay. And I do it. Well, it's not free. It's free if you sign up for a subscription. It's free for 7 days.
Right.
And I was like, oh no. So I made it. And then I was like, I'm not going to do that. And it erased the QR code. That's why you couldn't get into it, because I thought, oh, I'm going to make the free one and then I'm not going to do the subscription. Well, then it's like, oh, hail to the no. Hell no.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the original place where I have an account. It's where it's called Bitly, bitly.com. And it's where you can shorten, like if you're going to go look for something on Amazon, and if I'm going to put a link like on my website, the QR or whatever, the UPC code is like a mile long.
Right.
And Bitly will shorten it.
Okay.
And then you could put the link in, and it just makes it faster and easier to get to. And so anyway, that's where
it
took way longer than I needed to, because I started fancy.
I wondered, but I don't question you, because you do all of it and you do it so well that I'm like, hey, if she wants something new, but then I'm yeah.
Well, you can even make the QR code with like a little fancy, like I could have put a microphone over it or headphones over it. And I started playing with that. And I thought, Renee, nobody cares. Just make a stupid QR code.
Yes.
Be simple. So now I know how to do it fancy. I know how to pay for it. And I know how to not pay for it. So there you go.
There you go. You got the QR code.
We have a QR code.
We do. We have a QR code. And if anybody wants it, I don't know how to get it. Message us
I would suggest
us or whatever, and we'll give it to you.
Emailing us. Yeah. They can email us at chasingtangents@gmail.com.
Okay.
We actually have an email.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Chasing Tangents. Okay.
At Gmail.
So we'll hopefully have some people that will want that QR code. I mean, I guess if they're here, they don't need the QR code. It's mainly for my business cards, because then I can just give it to somebody and they can if
they want to go to the YouTube channel and get all of the episodes, that's what the QR code is going to do. If they're listening to it like on Spotify or Apple Music or iHeart, they just have to put Chasing Tangents in the search engine and then it pulls them all up.
Nice. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Well, how's your week been? I know you have some things you want to talk about, and we have a couple of topics that we love talking about that we seem to love. So where do we want to go with
this is something that I talk about with a lot of my customers, and I talk whenever I go home, because I just went home last week. It's weird how you end up, when you go home, it's like you lose the 40 years you've been away. And everything, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I call it, you catch the virus. You catch the virus. And I'm the little girl, and I'm the little sister. My twin sister and I showed up 10 years later after the last boy was born. So we're little. And I feel like I've really I've closed the gap, but they still make fun of my weight. They still make fun of just things that I have always struggled with. And you've known me for a long time. I am not someone on the exterior who struggles with weight. But one thing I've learned is that I'm really good at losing weight, and I'm really, really, really good at gaining weight. but I don't know how to maintain. Like I have a weight. I need a goal. I need to either
Yeah.
lose, gain weight. Well, I don't have a goal to gain weight.
No, me either.
Not
Never.
inspiration.
Never.
Never have the goal to gain weight. But if I give up and I stop trying to lose, then I'm going to gain. It's just I don't know how to modify or monitor or find that place. When I went to Florida, I'm having seafood, I'm having dessert, I'm drinking. I haven't had a glass of alcohol in months, and I drank every day,
Yeah.
because heavy
That's
drink
why I had dry July, because every single day in France,
was, well, I
I drank
mean,
every single
yeah,
day.
yeah. And it's one of those insidious things that once you have one, well, why not have two? Why
Yeah.
not have another one? And it's really hard. And I've never been a heavy drinker either. But if I let it in the house or I let it in, it's every night. I've got to
Yeah.
have a glass of wine to wind down, or I'm going to.
Okay.
And so, you and I,
Well, and
you
you've
and your
got a little
sister were talking about that.
history of some
Hmm. Both
alcoholism.
of my parents were heavy drinkers. My
Yeah.
mother, for sure, an alcoholic. I would say my father was probably an alcoholic. It showed up more in his final days than I think they drank every night, and not just a glass of wine. Like my mother could drink a whole bottle of scotch if she wanted a
Well,
night.
it goes back to, remember Bewitched? That
Hmm.
like they always did a cocktail. Like she was always entertaining. They always did cocktails
She had cocktails ready when he came home.
ready when he came home. That was like
Hmm.
the good wife,
The good wife
yeah, the
of
good
a
1960s.
upper middle
Yeah,
class
yeah,
man. And my father was a medical doctor, a physician. They ran in a pretty fast crowd.
yeah,
That was even when my mother would have her bridge club. We've talked about the bridge club,
yeah,
very
yeah,
similar to the
yeah, yeah,
mahjong. She served cocktails with luncheon.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
So, yeah.
there's a lot of stuff out right now about what alcohol does to your body,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of it's a trend right now to be dry. So there's a lot of mocktail companies
But there's so
now.
much sugar in
There's
a
so many, yeah.
mocktail. And
Well, but
so,
there's some companies now that are doing all natural, no sugar. That you make them and you make it kind of fancy, so it feels like you still have that feeling. Because there's part of it is the actual alcohol. It's kind of like me with smoking. Like nicotine is zero for me. Like it's not the nicotine
it's
at
the,
all. Because people are
it's
like,
the,
why don't you just vape so that you don't have the smell and the thing? And I'm like, because it's not the nicotine for me.
mhm.
It is literally the social, the taking it, the lighting. I mean, it's all of that. And I think with alcohol, it's some of that is translated. It's the social, it's the actual, making the fancy drink, having it look pretty,
Oh,
the
my brothers and
quality.
my husband, Mark, were, what's the perfect Manhattan? How do you make a perfect Manhattan? And they all
Mhm.
have their own recipe. Now they're talking about, and then
And
at one
mules.
point, yeah, Mark is having a Manhattan. And, and then my one brother goes, "Are you going to eat that cherry?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Bill likes drunken fruit. Like he likes drunk fruit. Like he could eat all the sangria fruit. He could eat
Right.
all of that." And
Yeah.
it's like, you do realize it is soaking alcohol in there too,
And it
and
soaks it more, I think.
oh
I think
yeah,
it really
yeah. He
soaks it
talked
in.
about when he was in college, he was going to be the designated driver. Now this is back in the 60s, would have been
When we didn't,
60s,
yeah, we didn't do designated drivers, but they didn't do.
but he was going to do the driving, and all he did was eat the fruit from the sangria. And he said he was way more drunk than the rest
Right,
of his friends. Way.
right, right.
And then they were like, he was falling down drunk, and he was just like, all he did was eat the fruit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
as usual, we got off on a tangent, but back to the weight thing.
Okay, yes.
Okay, and well, with my heart, I'm not supposed to have alcohol, and every doctor has said alcohol. I guess they've done enough research that they have proven that alcohol messes with the electrical impulses of the heart.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the liver is right underneath the heart, and my heart has to work extra hard to pump the blood through it because the valve is way down, so it's pumping the blood like 3 times harder to get it through the heart.
Okay.
So I'm stressing my heart. Alcohol then requires the liver to detox. So now I've got 2 organs
Stressing.
overworking, stressing. So it's just not healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless how much I like wine, I need to just not do it.
But back to the weight. So I I struggle as well all the
Mhm.
time. Um, I've had to unpack a little bit, and there's been a lot of great articles on menopause, postmenopause, great articles on it, like how to get rid of the postmenopausal belly and, all this stuff. And I did find an app, it's called Reverse Health, and I found it. It is Scandinavian.
Mm.
They have a little bit of a different philosophy, of course, on weight, on exercise, on everything
On
is
food, I'm sure
on
just food in
food.
general. Mhm.
Everything is very calm. Like the exercises are very calm. Like even though you're doing like strength exercises, you're doing it and it's very calm. It's very steady. It's very intentional. Um, they give little pointers and they're all about their philosophy is progress over perfection, but they do talk about the the mindset of
Mm.
loving yourself before you've reached a goal, and maybe changing your goals to
Mhm.
not be reflective of the scale as much, but on more on
Mhm.
how your clothes fit, more on how you feel. I had to change when I changed my goal from the scale to the feeling, that made a
Mm.
huge difference.
Mhm.
I honestly
Well,
don't.
and I don't have fat pants. I refuse to keep
Yeah.
fat clothes. I got rid of all of those. And one thing, I do step on the scale a little more. I started that when I was losing too much weight, when my heart was having some real big
Mhm,
issues
mhm.
and I was working too hard and I was getting down. I mean, I'm 5'7". I was getting down to like 124
Oh, yeah,
and I
that's
knew I was like gaunt and I looked like I wasn't looking healthy.
okay.
And so I started stepping on the scale. But I got rid of all my fat clothes, which would be, like 20 pounds heavier than that. And what I'm trying to do is if they start to get tight, then I know, okay, you're heading in the wrong direction. Let's rethink how you're eating. And what is it? Unhealthy food is easy food. So I've got to really stop
Yep,
eating
processed.
the processed, easy food and finding a way to really love, veggies and dip as opposed to potato chips or pretzels or
Yeah,
nuts. Yeah, and as
yeah.
much as I like nuts, a little bit of nuts, not a lot.
I
And
know, I know.
and it's kind of I have tried and tried and tried to think more about healthy. Now, I will say my husband will report every day how much he's eaten or not eaten.
My
And like,
mother too, yeah.
yeah, and so that becomes I don't want that to turn into a competition. Well, and then I
It is.
remember, wait a minute.
And you can't compete with a man.
No.
Your body is
And
different.
yes. And I am like I can't go out and walk 4 miles. Now, I'm clocking an 8 at work, but it's
Right.
not the same. I can't go to the gym, so I'm trying to do my 30 minutes of resistance training here. So all I've got to do is every day just figure out, can I do anything or can't I? And if I'm working, that's going to have to be good enough, that kind of thing. But now my daughter, now here's the thing about my daughter, and I don't know if Hannah's this way, but Hillary is all about, she said, Mom, you have body dysmorphia. And she's convinced that I have like a psychological problem that I think I'm bigger than I am, that I think
Yeah,
I'm better than I am.
body image. Yep, for
Yeah,
sure.
body. And she's not wrong. I mean, I'm sure that because I have a little bit of hips, And so if I see hips, that makes me think I'm fat, which I'm not.
You're a
You
woman.
know, I know, right? And I have a butt, which my husband loves, but clothes aren't made to fit a woman's body. Clothes are made to fit a teenage body that doesn't have the hips and the butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anyway, but she will just really get on me. And sometimes she'll say, "Well, tell me how your day was or what's going on." And I'll just tell her, and she's like, "Okay, now tell me something good." "Oh, well, I lost 3 pounds." She goes, "No, you will not tell me that that's something good." She gets really upset with me that I
Yeah.
drop weight. And now I've just learned, don't ever mention weight around her ever.
Yeah.
And she's like, "It cannot be part of our conversation. I won't let it."
Yeah.
And
They
yeah.
are they're very comfortable with who they are in their
Mm,
bodies, which I'm
mhm.
so happy that I didn't pass that down, that they
Same.
somehow overcame that, because I dieted a lot. When I went through all my mom's books, I don't know if I told you, like, I threw away 30 diet books of my
Oh,
mom.
yeah. Yeah. So
Every
she was
diet, like,
you
she
were
had them all and
obsessed.
I
Yeah.
threw them all away. My
Mhm.
mother still, she's 91. First of all, she eats only processed foods,
Right.
but she tells me
Ah,
like, I had 3 pretzels, and I had 5 pistachios, and I had
yes,
a Nutty Buddy bar, and I
I
had
hear that. Ah,
and I'm just like, "Okay." And Christy brought me food. My sister, she brought me food. Of course, I only ate half. I only ate half of it, and I'm like, "Okay, if you would have eaten it all." But she's constantly telling me how much, and that's
or
just
how little, or how
it
much
how
you did. Like, I
little.
skipped
Yeah.
lunch, or I didn't eat
I
until
ate 5
10
crackers and
AM.
cheese for lunch, I mean, it's like, and her rice cake, her doctor said, it was so funny. She goes, "Well, I have a rice cake." And she goes, "Yeah, that's air." She goes, "You're eating air and a little bit of peanut butter on." She goes, "I'm not hearing any nutrients in your
Mhm.
diet at all."
Yeah.
However, 91, who cares?
See, now my father was like that all his life, and then after his wife died, he just was, and he was always just in fabulous, he ran every morning until he couldn't, and that was
Yeah,
in his 90s. He
yeah,
ran every morning until his 90s. But then something clicked, and I think it was a lifetime of denying himself, and he just started eating everything,
yeah.
not caring. And my brother, who is obsessed with weight, and his
Mhm.
wife were desperate to try and get him to stop doing that. And I'm like, he's 97.
Who cares?
Let him drink wine at lunch, at breakfast if he wants. He's only got a year. I mean, he ended up only being months.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't
well, and
matter.
I think, "But do you think that way, Renee?" And I'm just like, "Well, I'm trying to eat healthy." But
Right.
yeah, it is I watch Hillary and Bradley and how they aren't obsessed at all. Like, she is so, "I look good." And I'm thinking, I wish have I ever said that when I've looked in the mirror? I'm, the best I get is good enough. That's about as good as I get. I'm like, "Okay, good
I
enough. I'll
think
go to work now."
we have caveats. Like, we'll say, "Well, I don't want to be conceited. I don't want to be, I know I could look better.
Mhm.
I know." So I
I
am
love
going
these
to,
pants, but I wish they fit a little better. Well,
yeah, I wish that, I mean, oh, this,
yeah.
or
If I lost a few pounds,
yeah, for
they would
sure.
fit better.
So I try to do the feel good. I feel good instead of how I look, how I feel.
What's the name of that app?
Reverse health.
Reverse Health. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a little red RH on the app thing.
Okay. Like Renee
Um,
Helgeson. I love
yeah,
it.
I paid. So there's an introductory offer of $15 a month.
Okay.
I paid it. I'm probably giving away a big secret, but I paid it. And then it went to 40. And I told him, it's not worth it for me to do 40. I love your exercises. I love
Because
because
you
they,
don't
they
need
have
that.
really great communication with their chat. And I
Okay.
said, and it's a real person.
Mm.
I said, "I really love them. They really try to get you to do the coaching, which I don't need. I don't, because
Mm.
I don't have weight to lose. Like, I
No, you
really don't
don't.
have a bunch of weight to lose.
For us, it's about the emotion
The
of
emotion,
it.
just maintaining. Mine was about sleep. I wanted to
Oh,
sleep. I wanted to feel good.
what's that word? I don't understand it. I mean, I'm like, huh?
You
What
can
is
be
sleep?
exhausted and then be laying awake, and yes. So,
Three
I've
o'clock in the morning.
really tuned into the whole sleep thing and trying to do and that's all about the cortisol. Cortisol is really popular, a lot of articles right now. But cortisol stems from stress. I was going to go back to something you said. You said, you clock about 8 miles working, but you are in a stressful, so you're doing it. Okay. So here's a stress level for work. Then you're adding stress, with all of like your exercise is just stress, 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 stress. Like
And
everything is
then
stress.
being on. I
Well,
am
like
on stage.
Mark walks and he's in
Yeah,
a
it's calm.
calming. So we have to find areas where we can take that stress. And so I'm a big faster. I was fasting a lot, doing the intermittent fasting, and that works for me, and I love it, and it works well. But my Mindy Pels is the doctor that I follow, and she went through the Palisades fires,
Hmm.
so she was very stressed. She
Of
had to be
course, yeah.
evacuated. Um, and then she lost a brother or friend. Anyway, there was just kind of these stresses were piling up, and then she was still trying to fast, and that was adding stress. And so she said,
Mhm.
trying to do healthy things in the midst of stress adds to the stress. Okay,
Okay, that makes sense.
adds to the stress. So she said,
Hmm.
you know what, you need to address the stress first, calm that stress, figure out what you need to do, and no shoulds. And we talked about this right before the podcast.
Yeah,
That
we're
word
going to talk about should in
should.
a minute. Yeah, no shoulds.
And so there's no shaming. You just, and so when we were moving, I took away the fasting.
Mm.
Um, I really just tried to focus on nourishing my body and but part of nourishing my soul was, I'd have some nibs or I'd do some stuff that I'm like, oh well, and I just literally let things go, and it really did help. Like I did weigh myself after I got here thinking, oh my god, I'm sure I've gained so much weight during all of this, and I had lost.
Oh, yeah,
I had
because you
lost.
weren't paying attention. You
I
weren't
wasn't
over.
focused on it.
But
Mm-mm.
now here's the thing about both of us, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners, viewers, is that you and I are very disciplined people. We're goal oriented.
Mhm.
We are get it done. If it has to get done, we are doers. We are, remember the lion, otter, beaver, golden
Oh,
retriever. We are total beavers and lions. We are
yeah,
lion beavers. So
yeah,
we are leaders, but we're also hard workers.
yes.
So life balance is a very weird, like, even if we're going to do life balance,
I'm
we're
gonna
going to
do it
try and
right.
we're going
I'm
to do
gonna
it
do it
right.
right.
And we're going to try and go, okay, well, now I need 10 minutes of meditation. We're going to fit it into our schedule, which
Yes.
sounds like what you're saying is stressful in itself, is because
Right,
we are adding de-stress things in a stressful way.
right.
Yeah, that makes
It's
100%. And
tough.
that's our culture, I think.
Yes.
We were
And
taught that.
I detoxed. I think I said this before. Like I fasted from information for a while because I
Yes,
was getting
yes.
all of this information, and I should do this, and then oh you should do this, and then you should do this, and oh and then do, and I just started to get so overwhelmed. I was like, okay, like, and so I detoxed
Hmm.
from information. I think for Lent, I gave up
Yeah, you did. You gave up like all that.
looking
Yeah,
up anything, doing because I had to just stop, like
you
getting
got to
more.
cut.
You should
Yes.
do this. You should do this. This is 5 easy steps, and here's the part. And
And they're all contradictory. So it's like pick and choose,
yes,
cherry pick what And then now you're confused because you're cherry picking. That's
Yeah,
why I got off social media, because I was all about social media. Well, I had to be with the writing. And
with
then I thought,
with our
but
podcast and stuff.
do I? Because let me tell you, I did a little experiment where I did all the social media for my first book, and then I did almost none for my second. And the second one out with my World War II outsold like 5 to 1. So it just told me that. And so then I did a detox from social media, and I'm not back on because
No.
I just feel as though the doom scrolling, and Mark doesn't even understand what that is. It's basically scrolling, but then allowing it to get into you and wasting time. I'm just, I don't have the bandwidth anymore
Yeah.
to add that to the stress level. Like you were saying, all that information that is just nonsense. And
And it
it's just like,
sucks you in. Sucks
yes,
you in. So it's the
that's
word.
part of the algorithm. It's
It sucks
designed.
you in. Like I got onto Facebook because of Marketplace, because I
Yep.
sold my life, right? I sold every piece of
Yep.
everything I had. But when you get on, you're on Facebook first, and then you have to click Marketplace. Well, you can, first of all, you can suck yourself into Marketplace. What's for sale? What's doing that? You can do that. But then you go back to Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to look and see that, and all of a sudden I'm there, and Jerry will go, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. I just did nothing for an hour. I just did nothing. I mean,
There's a Mel Robbins podcast about the addiction of social media, and
yes,
it's an actual doctor, and she's talking about how the dopamine, like the actual
yeah,
science behind how social media is designed. I mean, I just think that, who's the guy from Facebook that made that up?
Gutenberg or
No, no, no,
Zuckerberg, Zuckerman,
Zuckerberg. He's
Zuckerman.
evil. I mean, just the way it's evil.
Yes, it's, and they're getting sued all over the place
As they
because they're,
should,
yeah,
because
because
kids are
they're,
killing themselves, and I think
yeah,
about, and, Hillary, back to Hillary and Brad, they're not letting Harvest and Wells have access to that,
yeah,
including phones, because they grew up on the cusp, the early part, and watched it grow, and they were in the middle of all of it,
right,
and how it destroyed a lot of their relationships and who they were,
yeah.
and their mental health was put at risk. Both of them, they're of that generation. They're millennials. Yeah, and Hillary's like, I'm not doing that to my kids. They're not getting on. I'm
Well,
not.
it's like I've heard the two things: no sleepovers and no cell phones, no
Yep.
social media, basically, no
Yeah.
cell phones, no social media. If you like, hold off as long as possible from it.
Yep.
The sleepovers, I learned, I mean, I knew there were things that a child will do with another child that they would never think to do alone. And it's
Hillary
always
saw
after
her
midnight.
first horror flick, and I'm
Right.
talking horror, at the Summerlin's house. What was her friend's names? Anyway, Caitlin. She was like 12
Oh, yeah.
and way too young to see
Sneaking
that.
out, making calls that they shouldn't
Oh,
be
they got in
making.
trouble. I remember the grandmother was watching, and then the brother was a little older, and the 3 of them, they may have been 8th grade maybe, were out
Yes.
running the streets of Lincoln, and
Yeah.
she would have never done that.
Not by herself.
No.
No way.
Mm.
It's and so they
And
said,
her friend wouldn't.
let
Her
your
friend was a
kids
good
go
friend.
over till midnight. Like,
Come get them.
make the
Yeah.
commitment. You know what?
I'm gonna stay up and go get them.
I'm going to stay up and go get them. You can stay till midnight, and then I'm coming to get you, and you're coming and sleeping in your own bed. To me, I wish I would have done that. I totally wish, and I'm not going to say should, but I wish I would have done that, just because a lot of things happened, I think.
And that social media and just
Yeah.
access now, it's scary. So let's chase the tangent of should. Let's
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
that,
The
because
word
we were going to both watch, what was it,
Armstead.
Armistead. Yep.
Armstead. Yeah.
And
It
we
was,
were watching it because originally, because of the conversation about God and
and
Jesus.
how he had the Bible, the
Yes,
one
the
slave,
Bible.
the
Yes, the
one
Bible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
prisoner. had the Bible, and he didn't understand he just saw the pictures, but he
Right.
explained the whole thing to his friend, and he said, and I believe this.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of talked about how God doesn't need us.
And
God doesn't need our
and
words necessarily. Like, we
well,
think,
and
oh,
then
we're going to save people, or the
right,
evangelical
right.
movement, and it's like,
Or even he doesn't need us reading the Bible to the point where it becomes our God,
right.
as opposed to
Yeah.
trusting that God will speak to us in all ways, not just
Yes.
that one
Yes.
through
There's a
that.
really good Bible study by Sky Jatani called With, and
Yes.
it's so good. And it's how, I spend my life. I mean, that's how I spend my life, like with,
Yes.
every
With
day.
God.
Anyway, so back
Yeah.
to Amistad.
Yes.
The other part of it was he was trying. Matthew McConaughey said, I should have done something. And the translator said, we don't have the word should
In
in
our
our
language.
language. You either did it or you didn't. You either
Mhm.
did it or you didn't.
Mhm.
And in Spanish, there's a little bit of should, but it really doesn't, it kind of always has to be with another verb. It's never by itself. I should. It's always kind of but it's not the same. There's not a clear translation. And you said in Latin, there's,
I never remember.
it's just a
No, it's very no.
shameful, it's
It creates shame. When you
yes,
use the word should, it immediately creates shame, whether you're
regret.
shaming yourself or you're offering somebody
Yeah,
shame.
you should do that. It's about
You should
regret.
have. If
It's
you
about,
should have. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's a lot
and
of
it's
if.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't. So I'm thinking, with my, you know, bringing up the kids, like I didn't do it. Did I? I wish I would have, but I didn't. So there's
Mhm.
no shit. Like that was just the way it is. This is what we're gonna do from this point on. Is just we're going to do it. Like it's gonna happen. This is
Not
what.
should.
Yeah.
It's either yes or no. Do it
Right.
or don't. Yeah.
Right. So it's very hard to get overcome.
You know what
Very.
I think would be a good practice is
Yeah.
to see how often we use the word should in a day.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Because I have a feeling, especially at work, I mean, I have a manager that I think should is her favorite word. You should
Mm.
have. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of
Let's
things.
talk
We're
about your
already at
book.
30.
So let's
Man, we have a lot to say. Well,
segue into where are you and what's going on
so I've
with
been writing this
today's
week.
story.
Yes, I've been writing this week a lot about feelings and personalities and ways of thinking.
Okay.
So when I'm writing from their perspective, I'm writing not as much about the story or the plot as about maybe this is how I feel about things. This is how I look at the world. I even wrote from the mother's perspective on it. Um, and I don't know if you want to even like hear if I'm even, but like the mother wrote about, there were times I should have spoke up. Look at that.
But
I
you
didn't.
didn't.
I know I let him be the leader as I was taught. Does that mean my voice is never considered? I was an intelligent, thoughtful woman. I had a faith just as strong as his. It is so easy to look back and say, I should have said this or done that. But being in the moment and keeping the peace in the family sometimes just overrides taking a stand. The girls didn't want to go, especially Nancy. Claire was always so compliant, but I could tell she was fearful of the journey ahead. Oh, how strong she is now. Her trials have made her into a beautiful wife and mother who loves God and loves others, all without the help of any theology. Nancy will survive. Now, this is all mother talking.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's always been so scrappy, making do with what she has, taking the smaller portion, not out of kindness, but almost like an abused puppy being willing to take the scraps. I told her how loved she is, but I'm not sure she'll ever really believe that. She
Mm.
will recover from all this. She will be okay. So I'm talking
Okay.
more from like feelings and then the actual.
So let me ask you this, and this is just this isn't a writing question, it's more of tell me about your story question. Do you see Nancy and Claire almost like your own children, like you're feeling like the mom? Like as the author, what role do you feel like you have in this story?
It's so difficult because I feel like like
Every
I
all of the
want to be
characters?
the mother, yes.
Yeah,
I feel like the father's deconstruction and his reconstruction is part of me, who I'm, who I've been, how I did things,
kind of who you are now.
how I am now, how he's going to end up. The girls, there's a little bit of both. I don't feel like either one of my girls was Nancy or Claire. Maybe
Hmm.
Hannah a little bit more Claire. But then there's some Nancy in her now. So it's like, I don't know. There's a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Um, I, yeah, so
Okay, so think about each character. I love what you're doing is you're going through, you're being each character in your
yes.
mind, writing their worldview. I would say give a piece of yourself into all of them.
Okay.
Don't think about Hannah, Riley, Jerry. Don't think about, that terrible pastor you had or the great pastor that you had. Don't think as a mom. Unless you're in the mom's point of view,
Right.
be the mom, be the Nancy, be Claire, be the father, be the husband,
The new husband.
the new husband, the former husband.
Yeah. I haven't written anything from the form from,
And not that you need it for the book, but
right.
you may, as you're exploring. The other thing I used to do, and I found it valuable, this was when I had unlimited time to write a book.
Yes.
I would take personality tests from each character's point of view.
Oh, interesting.
So I got into the Enneagrams. I don't know if you've ever
No.
gone in, but
No, so many people are into it, and I'm like, "I'm not a number. I'm Stacy Bell." I
I
kind of
know
like reject it, or I
I'm
hated it when people
well,
go, "You're such a 1. You're
oh
such a"
yeah.
what, I don't know what I am, but they'd say it, and I'd be like,
Or I
"No."
know, and Hillary really got into it too. You're a three, you're a nine. And every time I've taken it, depending on my state of mind, I've become a different number.
Right.
So I feel like though, so don't use maybe Enneagram. Maybe do the what is it, the Myers Briggs? The
You know
Meyer
what I think I'm gonna
Briggs.
do? I'm gonna do the 4, animals.
Do that one. Do the four
'Cause that's so
animals.
simple.
It is, and then also kind of like, and if you remember, most people are two animals. Like Hillary is the
Yeah,
lion otter,
yeah,
so she's a leader, but she's going to have. I used to always say, Hillary would say to people, "Let's jump off the bridge. Won't it be fun?" And
yeah,
she will convince them that this is going to be fun. Let's all jump because she's the leader, but it's going to be fun. Versus the leader who's also, let's build this house. I'm going to show you how, but I'm going to dig in with you. Versus, like the golden retriever. And so maybe take it for each and give them a merging, a melding of each, like one, two, maybe even three, or have them so not know who they are that they can't even do the test. That becomes a part of their character as well. I feel like that may be beneficial
yeah, that'll
to
be
help
fun.
you. Yeah, it's fun, but it'll also kind of help you separate and delineate in
Yeah,
a way that you, like you said, the four animals, in a way that feels comfortable to you too.
yeah, that'll be good. Yeah,
And then,
that'll be
or do
good.
the love languages. Do you remember the love language test?
Yes, I do the love
The
languages.
seven, yeah.
This is one of the things with the love languages. I think people figure out what their love language is,
And then they provide it.
and then they love people that way, and I'm like, "Wait a minute. Hold
That's
on.
not what that point is. Yeah.
No, you need to figure out what the other person's love language is and then serve them that way."
That
It
way.
it's fine to know what
Rarely is it
your own
yours.
are if you wanna
Right.
communicate that to people. Like, mine is quality time,
Hmm.
okay? So don't buy me a gift, come and spend time with me. But if your love language is gifts, and that's
Then
what
I'll give you a gift, but I
you're
don't want
pouring a
you
gift
giving
into
me
me, and I'm
gifts.
like, "Great, Thank you. I don't feel that loved.
Because you feel like they threw a gift at it and then walked away.
Exactly. They didn't. They don't feel that way. They feel
No,
like a
they
gift
offered
is
you.
something super, yeah, which is
Mhm.
so funny. So I have people in my life whose love language is gifts. I labor over getting them gifts because I want to get
Getting
them
them the right.
something so
Mhm.
meaningful. And it's, but I want them to want to be with me.
Mhm.
And that's my love language. So it's like,
Yeah,
gifts
and
are such a
also I feel
blessing
like
for
the
me.
love language that is the least to you is the one that's fulfilled. So, like, gifts is not mine either because I can, 1, go out and buy it myself,
Yes.
and
And I
or
don't like stuff.
2, yeah, I've got stuff that if I want clothing, I buy it.
Yeah.
If I want jewelry, I buy it, or I don't really care if it's not big enough or so, but that's because I live in a very privileged place where, I mean, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
So that's not a love language for me. So I feel like and words of affirmation was always a love language for me because I never got those as a
Yeah.
kid.
That's
I was
Jerry's
told
for
you're
sure.
ugly, fat, and stupid, not,
Oh,
you're smart, thin, and beautiful. And so
you're smart, thin,
those,
and beautiful, Renee.
oh,
You're the
thank
smartest,
you.
most beautiful, most svelte,
Fit,
healthy
fit
person,
person.
fit person I've ever known.
But you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
those are what I need and want to hear. But then Mark gives them to me all the time. So then I don't need them from other people. So maybe kind of explore that
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
as an author, as opposed to
That's their love
not for
language.
you, because you have already done it.
Yeah.
And all the people. I think that will help you because each character has to have their own voice and
Yeah.
their own perspective. The biggest mistake I see in fiction, and this is even very successful authors, is that all of their characters sound the same.
Yes.
That's because they haven't delineated them. They're the authors choosing how to present them on the page versus who they are and how they want to be presented. Treat them like real people.
Yeah.
And I think that you will have a very rich novel that way.
You say that I just read, I read a Stephen King novel because I read his
Mhm.
book on
Right,
writing, but then I
right.
read one of his newer novels. He's got a new character. Holly is her name, and
Mhm,
she's a detective.
mhm.
Well, in this last one I read, okay, so she's in it, but then she's a private detective. That now she has a friend who's a detective. Well, there were many times I'd have to like go back and go like, wait, is this
Which one is it? Is it
which
her
one
or the
is
friend? Is it
yeah, they
Holly
were
or the friend?
so similar in
Yeah.
their thinking and what was happening. And I was like, why did we have two things happening and they all came together? Like all of the things like merged, and that was the big, but they all sounded the same. And I kept having to go, now is this Holly talking or is this the other one talking? Like it was, and that's Stephen King. Like he's right, like has written some. So
Got lazy, and
I,
so and I had a great agent when I was first trying to break into World War II and historical fiction, and she said, "Renee, these characters all sound the same. Go back and do it." And it was in Widows of Champagne. Did you read that book?
yeah,
Did I
mhm,
ever? Yeah, where the mother, the grandmother, and then the daughter, the three of them. And I opened the book with each POV, and I really struggled to get them, even the cadence. The grandmother speaks, talks, thinks differently than the granddaughter,
right,
and the mother, who is from the privilege. And I kept that in mind as I was going through, and each person sounds different, or at least that was my goal. And
yeah,
she was right. That's when I sold the book, because when I first was trying to sell the book, there was something that was lacking, and that's what it was. And I had a
yeah,
brilliant agent that said, "That's what the problem is, Renee. That's why we
okay,
can't sell this book."
okay,
So,
but you did,
and then we sold it because I went back and fixed it.
okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully my agent will be able to you know,
Hopefully you'll give an agent a perfect book and she'll say, can't wait to sell it. Let's
I
do
know
it.
that's going to be one of our goals is to, write a whatever. I don't know what it's called, proposal or
Yep, a proposal and a
that you,
sellable,
yeah. So
yeah, with hooks and all that. We will talk about that after you
after I get my,
get a good 100 pages, a good
yeah.
solid 100 pages, and then we'll talk proposal.
Okay. All right, my darling. It is 45 minutes in.
Hey, less than an
Yes.
hour, which is we're still about 15 over, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get it. We're
Yeah.
gonna get it.
I had a would you rather question
Okay.
that I think is really
Let's
fun.
end it with that.
Okay. Would you rather only read what you've already read? You can't read anything new, but you can read them over and over again. Or would you only want to read new books one time?
Oh, new books one time,
One time.
100%.
So you're good with never reading something that you've already read?
I have a really good memory, and so
Okay,
I feel
good.
I feel like when I reread a book, it's ruined because I already know
Okay,
all the turning points, how it's going to end.
cool.
I as much as I love now not movies, but books.
Yeah,
Movies I can rewatch,
yeah.
but books once I've read it, I'm kind of done.
Okay.
How about
And
you?
I think I might be the opposite. I brought
Okay.
books with me and
Okay,
I
so you had to
I gave
choose.
away 5 bags of books to the library.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I went through and I got all the and I was my goal is to reread all of these books at some
Okay.
point just to see like why did I feel like these were the ones that had to come with me. And there's
Mhm.
just a little bookshelf there. There's not very many. There's probably 30,
Okay.
so I'm going to reread them, but I don't know, like sometimes new stuff like it overwhelms me to
Okay,
it's
so
something
let's check back in about a
after I've
month or
read it.
two, not next week, obviously, after you've read a few, and let's see,
Yeah.
and
How
I will only read new, and
okay.
let's see if that's still
Or
our
what would you
stand.
rather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Sounds
I
good.
love that. I love
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right,
I
well, we'll
will
see
work
you
on these
next week.
personalities. Yeah. And we will
Okay, work
see
on your
you next
personality.
week. You work on being mindful and being healthy and
And I'm going to check out the Reverse Health app and
reverse health app
see if
and
that helps.
breathe
Yep.
a little bit. And it's very good. So,
And just be comfortable with this.
this, this body that gave you your daughter that has, yeah.
That's still the heart that's still ticking, you
Yes,
know,
yes. So
hasn't
there's a
gone off
lot of
yet.
things we can do just to take a pause. And so let's do
And
that.
be healthy. All right.
All
I
right.
love
Love
that. Let's
you.
end with that. Love
All
you
right.
too. See you next week, guys.
Bye.